going on, Jerome? Just racking up and stacking up a bunch of these raw, real car rants because we got some thoughts and we got some free time as we're waiting on our kids. Good stuff, man. But the question is, why are you a Vikings fan? And I feel like most people's answer is because, well, we're from Minnesota, don't you know? Or your parents were, your dad was, your grandpa was, your grandparents were, and it's just a family tradition. Why do you drink? Because I watch the Vikings. But I get loyalty, and I'm never going to root for another team the way that I root for the Vikings. But it's a painful life, man. It 100% is. And what's really cool about the NFL growing and showing internationally, whether it be in England or Germany or Mexico or Europe or wherever, is new fans are coming into the sport. And usually what happens is new fans, they pick a team, right? They pick a favorite team, get some gear, and for whatever reason, like maybe they like the star player at the time, maybe they like the coach, and actually no one likes the coach. Maybe they like the colors, maybe they like the city, maybe they like whatever, but they start rooting for a team. I want to know, like, how many people new to the game or people just new to the NFL decide to pick the Vikings, because that's a lot of pain, man. That's a lot of pain. It's sort of like when I became a fan of soccer or football over there, and I was picking a Premier League team, and my parameters is I wanted some history, I wanted some winning, I wanted a great fan base, and I wanted to be able to watch them on TV or streaming every single game. So they had to be rather sizable, and that's why I ended up with Liverpool. I mean, Liverpool has all the history in the world. They also have a lot of pain in recent years. Well, since the Premier League came in like the early 90s, but that's beside the point. But also frankly, they have some of the best fans in the world. So it's very much akin to me and my Vikings fans. And it was kismet. And it worked out, right? But I don't know. Like, I feel like from an outsider's perspective, I see, that's why I never worry about bandwagon fans for the Vikings, because we would never have any. I mean, Vikings could go 17-0, win the Super Bowl by 100 points, and everyone deciding who their team's going to be, they'd be like, Vikings? Nah. But difficulty before success. That's an old, like, Scottish saying. Like, I actually think it's from the Ferguson clan, which Alex Ferguson, great manager of Manchester United, tosser team, but great man, great coach, great manager. But difficulty before sweetness, difficulty before success. And I think that's what being a Vikings fan is all about, because it's different than being historically like a Lions fan or a Browns fan or a Jets fan outside of Super Bowl III, whatever, where you're just flatline, or the Giants ever since 2011. Just completely no expectations, lowered expectations. And every single year, you're going to win 3 or 4 games. You're going to draft high in the draft. You're going to draft a bust. And you're going to fire your coach. And you're going to fire your GM. And over and over and over and over again. Always. It happens. But with the Vikings, it's almost like a Greek tragedy. Like, I know all the jokes about the NFL being scripted. You could honestly not script the history of the Vikings the way that they did. So first off, the Vikings were supposed to be an AFL team, but they ended up in the NFL. And then they go to 4 Super Bowls under Bud Grant. They're the dominant team in the era. They had a historically great defense, a number of Hall of Famers, and they go over. Like, how do you fire 4 bullets in the Super Bowl and not win 1 game? It's just rough, man. It's just rough. And also, the last time you were in the Super Bowl was 1977. So that was, a decade before I was even born. And I'm like middle-aged right now, which kind of hurts to say. So not only have the Vikings never disappointed me in a Super Bowl in my lifetime, they've never even been to a Super Bowl. I mean, that's so sad, because then came the string of NFC title games, or actually like the Drew Pearson push off, and then the NFC title games, losing in Washington, 98 Vikings, 41 Donut, 09, whatever the hell happened in the Superdome, 2017, 38-7, blah, 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 blah. I mean, you're not even in the Super Bowl, man. Like, you're in the game before the Super Bowl, and you can't even get it done. That's what's frustrating, man. And it isn't for lack of talent. I mean, the Vikings have had numerous Hall of Famers traipse through those doors, whether it's Adrian Peterson or Randy Moss or Chris Carter or Randall McDaniel or John Randall or whoever, right? And it's just frustrating. Like, on one hand, you'd almost rather just be bad every single year. I know that's obviously not true, but the gut-wrenchingness of getting your hopes up every single year and then just like, it's tough, man. It's tough. But we saunter around. You know why? Because sweetness after difficulties. Where, how'd you like to be a Patriots fan who was born in, say, 2000 or maybe late 90s? Yeah, we'll give them mid to late 90s so that they would be aware of what was happening in 2001 when the Patriots won their first Super Bowl. Then they reel off 6. Just spoiled. Spoiled. Where you never know anything except for absolute success. So when some tough times come along, you don't know how to handle them. Like, they adopted the darkness, but we were born in it, molded by it, which is funny with this. But eventually the Vikings will get it done. I just really, really hope it's in my lifetime, man. Or if it can't be mine, at least be my kids, even though my kids don't give two shits about football, which I'm certainly okay with too. See, that's like too. I'm never going to like push my interest onto my kids. Like, if they want to get into football, great. If they want to get into soccer, great. If they want to get into STEM or arts and crafts or whatever, fantastic. If they want to get into canoeing or underwater basket weaving or baseball, whatever, go ahead. I'm in. But I just know that one day the Vikings will hoist that Jerome Barty, and it will be the sweetest day ever. And we get in the comments a lot. Older fans, been a fan since blah, blah, blah year. Been a fan since 65 or 61 or 69. Nice. Or blah, blah. Old fans who've been through the Super Bowls, who've been through the NFC title games, who've been through everything, man. Been through the Herschel Walker trade, been through the ups, the downs, and every other way, right? I want that one for them. I want that Super Bowl win for them, for my father who's no longer with us, for my grandpa, for every other older Vikings fan who have gone through pain. A lot of pain, man. And still didn't tuck and run. 'Cause that's what really bugs me too, is fans that are just sort of whatever. It's like, oh, I'm a Seahawks fan. Oh, I'm a Broncos fan. Oh, I'm a Patriots fan. Oh, I'm a Niners fan now. All that stuff. Please. You got your team, and you ride or die with them, right? That's what kind of bugs me about fair weather fans too, where they'll absolutely take a shot on the team when they're down, but when they're up, it's like, oh, I was with you the whole time. Baloney, man. That's right. But I don't know, some loose, raw, real rant thoughts. Someday, baby. Someday. Anyways, Skull, no production value.